Working with map, it's really hard. There's a lot of configuration, API keys and libraries and etc. But I found this map.cn component. This is basically ready to use, style with Tailwind CSS and work perfectly with setCN UI. And it's really easy to implement. As you can see the example in here, for example, active user map in here, as you can see. Super nice, right? We can hover that and we have the information on it, and also the delivery. You can implement delivery as well, and the trending, the AV charging, for example. As you can see, this is offline, this is available, and also locate me. So let's take a look how we can using that. Let's go to get started in here. As you can see, MapCN is basically built on map library GL, style with town CSS, design work with setCN UI. So in this video, I'm going to use feed to generate React TypeScript project. So that's why I'm going to use template react-ts. So now we are going to install the setCN into the feed application. So let's just follow along all the instructions in here. Alright, great. setCN is already installed on our feed application. So the next thing is let's try to working with the MapCN, right? Let's just copy this command in here and just paste that to the terminal. And this basically will clone some components. So as you can see, it basically will update the source/index.css. Let's take a look in here. This basically will adding some styling for the map, and then also it create the source component UI, and then we have the map component. Look super nice, right? And how we can using that? Pretty simple. Let's see this one right here. So I'm going to create another component inside a component folder. So I'm going to call that maybe Paris map or whatever, right? .tsx, and then just create that component. Let's do Paris map. And then what I'm going to do is just paste that. As you can see, we don't yet have the card component. It's basically come from the setCN UI. So we can do like npx setCN add card. So that's the way we adding card. And for the map, it's basically come from the UI/map and map control as well. So as you can see, we have some error in here. It's basically the class heading 300 pixel can be written as a height 75. And now we need to basically import the Paris map or render that component on the index on the app.tsx. Right, here we go. So let's just remove the state on the top and let's take a look the result. Here we go. As you can see, it's just render. How cool is that? So as you can see on the map component, we can send center props and send this an array, right? This is basically longitude and latitude, and we can zoom in, right? So for example, you want to render a valley, right? So this is basically the longitude and latitude for the valley. So I'm going to copy this one in here. This is basically the longitude. So I'm going to paste that. Also the latitude as well. I'm going to copy and paste that. And also for the zoom, I'm going to zoom out a little bit to maybe 9. Save, and let's take a look. The result, I'm going to refresh, and here we go. Now we're on the valley, right? How simple is that? And also now you can go to map controls tab, and as you can see in here, there's other controls that you can use. So on the code in here, we can send the position, right? You can change the position to whatever you want. By default is basically right here on the bottom right. Of course, you always can change that. You can do like position to the maybe top left, I believe. Yeah. So we can save that, and now it's right here. Right, cool. Let's go back in here and we can show the zoom, show the compass, show the locate, and show the full screen. I'm going to copy all the props and then just paste that right here. And now as you can see, we have all the controls. We can full screen, super nice. I can locate me in here. I can zoom out and zoom in as well. And also we can add marker as well on that map. For example, this one right here, as you can see, if I hover, we have the location name, the information. If I click that, we also have that information as well. And there's a couple example like a rich pop-up, as you can see in here, right? We have the like image and card and etc. in here. Looks super nice. We have the draggable marker as well. All of that is just available, and you can see all the example on the code in here. So let's take a look how we can using that. I'm going to create another component. I'm going to call that markers.tsx. Let's do RFC, change that to markers, and we are going to render that on the app.tsx. So I'm going to render that in here. As you can see on this marker component, I have the map, right? This is the center, this is the zoom, and also the map marker right here. This is the longitude and latitude. And in here, what I'm going to do is, let's say, marker content. And inside that, I'm going to render like maybe, I don't know, maybe some icon on it. Just random stuff, which is this icon right here. I'm going to save that. Let's take a look what we have. I'm going to refresh that and nothing happened, I think. So I think the problem is because on the parent in here, on this div, we not send the height and the width. If I do that, and as you can see, this is the marker, right? It's just rendered right here. Looks super nice. And of course, you can always change the icon in here to whatever you want. As you can see, if I hover or click this marker, it's basically nothing happened, but we can adding the marker tooltip and marker pop-up. Let me try to import that from the UI/map. And basically the marker tooltip is basically when we hover the marker, it's basically show this text. And also when I click that icon or that marker, it's basically will render the marker pop up. Let me show you in here. If I hover that, as you can see, we have the Empire State Building render. If I click that, we have this text as well. And of course, you can adding any information down here if you want, or even you can just render card with image and etc. in here. This is basically on the marker pop-up, we have this div with image and with some text in here as well, right? So you can just styling whatever you want. So basically there's other features like pop-ups in here, like a road. You can do that with like a delivery application, the clusters, right? And also I think this one in here is also super nice, which is the custom control. We can do like 3D view, right? As you can see, like really nice. And also this one right here, the show parks. If I click that, as you can see, this location is right now is green. All of this is free. Definitely you have to try that if you want to working with map. So yep, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this is helpful. See you on the next one.